Janis Arterbury, Master Naturalist, Texas Master Naturalist Hill Country Chapter, and welcome to the Bandera Natural History Museum Garden. The Bandera Museum is 5 years old, and originally Brenda and Gary Fest put in the Pollinator Gardens. We'll show you the Pollinator Gardens in a minute. There are two of them, one on either side of the door, plus a very large one over on the north side. So I have a team of volunteers, thankfully, to help us clean out the gardens, keep them clean, water them occasionally, and just to build them up and maintain. We do have a project pending out here, which would be the 1,000,000 small ligustrum removals, and that's in progress, so wish us luck. We need some help out here with that project. This is our east garden, and it's the quote-unquote shady side, so we have shade loving plants. We have Turk's Cap, Mealy Blue Sage, Sexmania. I think that's Boneset over there. There's White Mist, Greg's Blue Mist Flower, and several other things. We have recently cleaned this out zealously, as you can see, and we're about to put a new path here. So we're going to have a little winding path over there so we can take care of the bird feeder and the weeding 2 or 3 times a year.
Do you get help from the museum staff?
No. This is ours. Master Naturalists put this in, we maintain it, we're responsible for it. Proud of it.
Proud of it.
Yeah.
It's always the objective to teach at a museum like this. And so in addition to teaching the subjects that are related to the History Museum, this is also a teaching tool.
Well, one of the reasons why these plants were chosen is because they're drought resistant, they're natives of Texas, and they're very important for pollination purposes. These particular ones will be full of honeybees pretty soon, and Texas bumblebees. There are 20-something varieties of bees in Texas, so all of the bees are important for pollination purposes around us. And the butterflies, of course, and the birds, so pollinators are important for our ecosystem.
Do you find that people who are coming up to the museum look at the garden?
Absolutely, especially on the other side. We're going to see the other side where we have 1,000,000 beautiful butterflies. Let's go.
Okay.
Over here, it's the blue mist. It's the blue mist.
I really love those.
So here we have the successful morning sunshine pollinator garden with plenty of Greg's Blue Mist Flower and 100 queens in here.
They just love that blue mist flower. Look at them
do.
all.
And there's some Phaon crescents, and occasionally I see a checkered spot.
And you've got some water in there for them?
We do not have water in there for them, but we need some volunteers to come over here once a week and water everything that needs to be watered with a 200-foot hose. Right, Patty?
I have told them inside.
Okay.
And Patty, what are you doing over here?
A water feature.
Those are heavy rocks.
But the water feature is going to use the eventually a drip system, is that correct?
It is a...
Awesome. Look at the butterflies.
I can't explain what it's called, but it catches water from the downspout and we'll channel it through to the water feature with a float so that we can control the water usage.
Cool.
So what are your future plans for this garden? Is it already established? You're just maintaining it, or are you going to expand it?
On this particular garden, we're just maintaining. These 2 gardens on the sides, we're just maintaining, correct. Over here in a minute, we'll go to the other side and see the new garden, which has a big future.
It'll only be about 8 inches deep with a little fountain in the middle of the rock. And it's just for show.
Well, that's great. For show, just for show. It's birds, bees.
Well, there's all kinds of critters.
Oh, true. But there are no deer in here.
No
Yes,
deer.
they
There are
do
no
get
deer in here.
on occasion.
No deer.
They do get in.
Because there's an 8-foot fence, is that correct? 8 feet?
Yes.
8-foot fence around the entire property. That's kind of important.
They do come into the gate when we're open. There's usually about 5 of them that are hang around, and they do go through, and then they go out.
They
in the
go
evening.
through and eat. Good Lord.
They like
So,
it here.
do
Are
you
they
take-
not-
Who's in charge of taking them out?
They go out by themselves, believe it or not.
Are they not scared of the dinosaurs?
No, no. The man.
Pachycephalosaurus.
Take your word for it.
There it is. It's rough stem rosinweed. Isn't it beautiful? And Gary and Brenda Fest planted it. Isn't this gorgeous?
Oh, that is.
Another native. So we have 1, 2, 3, or 4 of them around here.
Mealy.
Mealy blue sage.
There's another queen. Looking great.
This is the relatively new Pollinator Garden. This is the brand new one. I believe they put it in last year, and this is the first year that we've seen flowering, real flowering. So it took. Everything we put in here took,
Well, it looks great.
and it's on its way. You can see there are a lot of vacant spots yet, so we'll be looking for plant donations. I think we've found some. And we'll be planting in September and maybe March,
Okay.
hopefully, and we're going to fill this little garden up. Our other plan is to rebuild the little rock wall. We don't have a rock wall around here. The gardeners will mow down everything in sight. That's a joke around here. So we're going to be redoing the rock wall eventually when we get another volunteer or two.
How do you purchase the plants? Do volunteers pay for them, or do you have a fund?
We have donations.
Okay.
And I think that traditionally Gary and Brenda have been able to get donations every year, and they have already offered us to continue doing that. Shall I say the name? Bandera Garden Nursery.
Okay.
Yeah. So over here on this side around this beautiful oak tree, we would like to leave it the way it is. Remove a couple of China berries, of course.
Of course.
There is still some green briar over there, which had invaded this little garden when my team took it over. So we've taken it out of this garden, and we'll continue to take it out over there, but we'll leave that as is. This is such a beautiful area, isn't it?
It is. It's very nice. Very shady. Beautiful.
We have a need for 3 or 4 more volunteers over here to especially take care of this garden. There are 2 or 3 tasks that would be assigned to the new volunteers that we can't handle right now. And number 1 would be building up the perimeter of this garden, planting maybe 50 new plants in September, October. Watering is extremely important. It's a hard job. We have a 200-foot hose here at our disposal, and it's very difficult to handle that. So by the time we have watered our 3 gardens, then we're too tired to do anything else. So we would dearly love to have an additional 2 or 3 volunteers to help us accomplish the things that we need to do this beautiful pollinator garden area, to do it well.
Something for the people who live in the Bandera area to do.
Yes, calling all Bandera volunteers and others. I've got one on the team that comes from North Kerrville, And she's so important to this team, and she loves it. As a matter of fact, we're standing in her garden.
Oh,
It's Trudy,
okay, I understand.
the Eberhardt Trudy.
Yes. Yeah.
And also Nancy Kerr from Pipe Creek area is helping with those 2 front gardens. And so far, that's our team, and I just greatly appreciate those 2 people every time we come out here, which is, one of them comes once a month and one of them comes twice a month. So our goal is to come right now in the summer, every summer, to have someone come once a week to do the watering and a couple of other things, but that would pretty much take care of it. We don't need a huge team, we need 3 or 4 more volunteers, so we'd appreciate it.
Okay, well, thanks, Janice, for showing us around the
Our
Pollinator Garden at the Bandera Natural History Museum in Bandera, Texas.
Beautiful Bandera.
All right, thank you so much.